Hello, my name is Prime, and welcome back to ATS Showcases, and today we are here in Waterloo, Iowa, and we're going to head over to Fort Dodge today. Now, we are going to explore both Waterloo and Fort Dodge a little bit more, particularly here with Waterloo. We're going to head down into the more downtown section of it, and head across to Fort Dodge, which we've been more recently, but we're going to take a different route through it and explore some of the more scenic side of Fort Dodge. But the reasoning behind this delivery is because of what we are hauling, and more specifically, where we're starting and where we're going to. As you may have been able to tell by the sign behind us, we're here at McLean. This is the new agricultural machinery or equipment factory depot that is available within Iowa, and then our delivery point in Fort Dodge is actually the brand new Field Force Equipment dealership / retail facility. So without further ado, let's get this Kenworth W900 started up and get on the road. And now that beautiful engine sound is none other than the CAT 3406E 2WS strike pipe engine mod by Slav Jerry that's available on the Steam Workshop. It is a free engine mod, and I will have the link for it down in the description below. This is actually my first time using this particular engine mod, and I must say it sounds very good. All right, let's get rolling. Hopefully everyone's doing well. I certainly am. Great to be back here in the Iowa DLC, and happy release to everyone here on Iowa. Official release has passed. So everyone, well, the Iowa DLC is now technically available for purchase for everyone, which is incredibly exciting, and I am no longer in an early access look at the Iowa DLC. So no more disclaimers here, just all American Truck Simulator and this engine mod glory here with the W900. Decided to come back with the W900 and a day cab configuration with our standard oh boy trailer. Just looks so good. This paint job, the chrome, everything about this just screams power, and definitely needed for this harvester behind us. About 50,000 pounds, I do believe, according to the delivery metrics. Now, of course, not a whole lot of extra equipment on this harvester. It's just the main chassis itself, but still a decent amount of weight. But this is the manufacturing facility here in Waterloo. Another one located down by Iowa City, which we actually drove past in a few recent episodes. So you can check those ones out if you choose to. Thank you to everyone who has been supporting the recent episodes. I've said it in the various episodes recently, but I'll say it once again. Incredible to see the support, and I truly appreciate every moment of it. Now, my word, is this engine giving us a little bit of a ruckus in terms of these sounds. Sounds so good. When we pull away out here, when we get down the driveway from this facility, I will do something that I know a lot of you want me to do, and stop talking for a few moments' time and listen to this beautiful engine pick up through the gears with the weight on it. I believe I have the 450 horsepower, maybe 500 horsepower version of this engine in it. However, you can go all the way up to a 700 horsepower tuned engine if you so choose to, and then down into the 300s, I do believe, or maybe low 400s for horsepower rating. All right, we need to get on the road here and get exploring Waterloo. Let's pull out onto the road and listen to this beautiful engine mod. Just incredible, and we'll definitely use some Jakes, actually potentially coming up right here, because, well, rightfully so, a lot of you have commented recently saying, yo Prime, use more of the Jake brakes in the engine braking because, well, you jam on the brakes a lot, and, well, I certainly do. And now we're going pretty slow here, so I'll just mainly let it coast down here and just a little bit of braking. But once we get up here maybe even going into Waterloo a little bit more itself. We'll get the jakes going on this engine because I want to hear what it sounds like. If it's anything what this engine sounds like so far, the 3406E 2WS, that is a name and a half, my friends. I'm sure the Jake is going to be absolutely incredible, like most cat engines are in general, but Slav Jerry does a amazing job at engine sounds all the time. Knocks it out of the park with probably every single one he's done, but definitely the recent ones and a lot of the newer releases that they've done. Incredible to see and, well, hear. And the fact that it's all free, available on the Steam Workshop, safe to download as well. Can you really ask for anything more? I don't think I can. So, you'll notice that the delivery today is a little bit on the shorter side, and that's why we're going to do some exploring, something that honestly is kind of nice to do anyways, especially in the new areas, and of course explore Waterloo a little bit more. But the reason why I was being very particular with the delivery types, and there were a lot of contracts, I will admit, going out of, for example, McLean or so on, but I wanted to try and hit to the Field Force equipment dealerships. Try and actually do the proper links between the two, and we need to continue more to south, I do believe. We need to be over here. Yeah, we're going technically, I guess, south. Well, not really, but we gotta head back into Waterloo here a little bit more. Very interesting interchanges by the sake of the map. Yeah, not too sure about how all this works, but seems like there's... I'm gonna take a guess by the way that the layout is that there's one-way streets running through Waterloo here, but I guess we will find out. We want to go downtown Riverfront, so we're gonna stay in the lanes here, and it looks like the lights are probably red up here. Yep, they sure are. I gotta stop here. And wait, lots of one-ways, lots of interesting road networks. No, road networks I normally get lost at, but I haven't done so yet, which is good. At least I am using my GPS, which is a rarity sometimes, I will admit. I have it all the time, and I do use it, but for those who've been around here a while, you know my navigational skills. Not always the highlight of my channel, I will say that. Okay, we're going to actually get over to the left lane here, because we will be turning left to go across. I do have a feeling and can look ahead to see that. Now, looks like we're heading through downtown now. The detail level is incredible. This is what I wanted to check out. What's all down here in Waterloo? And it looks like we're going to be going over a river. The Cedar River. How neat. It's just incredible to see. I love these details. And actually, we're going to be turning left right here. It's wonderful to see these details of the downtown areas. And again, because of the duration of the delivery, and in particular, we have two McLean facilities, from what I can tell, at least, the agricultural factories, basically, here in Iowa, and then a couple of the dealerships. Now, surprisingly, it was incredibly difficult, once again, for me to try and find a delivery going between the manufacturing facility and the very specific dealership itself. I would have thought there would have been more, but at least in my version of the game economy and how things are running right now, not the case. But there were a few. And, well, actually, this main one, honestly, I was looking between both Iowa City and up here in Waterloo, and in a way, I was actually very happy that Waterloo one here worked out, because we haven't been to Waterloo yet, and we've been driving by or through Iowa City quite a bit, and admittedly, we're going back to Fort Dodge, but that is okay, and we're going to take, as I mentioned in the intro, a slightly different route through Fort Dodge, try and explore some of the more details and just different bit of charm that's available in Fort Dodge itself. But just sitting here at the intersection, even looking at all the different buildings, the different pieces of artwork and detail, the signage and so on, It is truly incredible to see. American Truck Simulator has come a long way since 2016. The DLCs as well just continue to increase in quality and realism and so on. Amazing to see. I'll say it. I've said it a million times. I will say it another million times. I am incredibly impressed by the continual improvement by SES software. Now, of course, there's always pros and cons to situations. Nothing is perfect, but they sure do a good job at trying to make sure the community gets something really good and continually improving upon it. Now, of course, SES software cannot put everything into, say, the Iowa DLC in terms of different cities and towns and different industries and so on. The map has to be scaled some way, somehow. Trying to pick up on those key areas or landmarks while not letting some other ones slide is a it's a hard balance to try and figure out. I know they try to do their very best to get as much in as possible, but again, there are limitations in terms of the game scaling. It is what it is, but I know a lot of you in the comments have been really excited and also enjoying playing the Iowa DLC and exploring it. And I know a lot of you who are local to the region have also expressed your impress and also a little bit of annoyance at some of the, shall I say, additions or lack thereof within the DLC, which is completely fair. Everyone has their opinion, and you're completely entitled to it. At the end of the day, I am just happy to have Iowa here, finally out, about $15 to purchase. Again, can't really complain too much. Now, it's definitely a busy little intersection here, and it is a multi-way stop, so we're gonna go ahead. Hey, stop, Western Star. Do you not know how to use it? Hey! Do you know not how to use an intersection there, bud? He's just gonna go out and do his own thing, even though I was stopped there and waiting. Being courteous as well. Ah, you gotta love it. The AI and the impatient nature somehow capture so many drivers all in one. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I am almost having a hard time trying to think while listening to this engine, but it's in the most glorious way possible. Again, I love some of the stock sounds here in American Truck Simulator. Some of them are quite good. Some of them, at the same time, do not have this depth, and arguably none of them have the depth to the sounds you are listening to right now. And this is where engine mods in particular set themselves apart from the in-game sounds. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. From my point of view, it's hard to comprehend why something like this engine mod could not be included base game for everyone without having to, subscribe to on the Steam Workshop, albeit for free, or download otherwise a modification for the game. You know what? I'm sure there's reasons. Don't know what they are, but I'm sure there are some reasons. And, I've said it before with certain mods that are literally, quite literally, retunes of stock engine sound samples in American Truck Simulator. And it's almost night and day in terms of the quality of what it feels like for the engine. Again, don't really know what that is about, but I do miss having the engine mods, honestly, and that is why you see a lot of the engine and transmission compilation mod and a lot of Soft Jerry mods here, because one, they're free, two, they're very easy to integrate without basically breaking things, and they also get updated very frequently, so never have had any issues with them either. Again, just very user-friendly overall, but they just add so much to the game in general. Sounds are so important in American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2 and so on. They add so much to the experience of the game. I honestly do not know what I'd do without them in some ways. Again, some of the stock engine sounds are good, but for something like a W900, a Peterbilt 389, this brute force behind an engine is just needed, and the sound plays into that. That's generally lacking in American Truck Simulator on its own, but luckily, once again, we have these free mods to help us out. So now that we're getting up to some speed, and as this engine screams as it runs through the RPMs, we will use some Jake brakes, slowing down here off the highway, which will be not too long here because going up to Fort Dodge does not take too long at all. And of course, maybe going after getting off of at Fort Dodge, we'll maybe use it a little bit more here in the latter part of the delivery where we're picking up some speed. I can also technically use it at lower speeds, but at the same time don't like to use it in, you know, city areas. Again, noise restrictions and so on, trying to be realistic there, albeit generally it's signed if you're not supposed to, but in some ways it's also a courtesy thing. Don't want to rumble the socks off of people trying to get their hair cut at the corner. So it's one of those situations, bit of a courtesy thing, and I try to bring that realism in here as well. But I know, comment down below what you feel about some of those regulations, or if you just feel, you know what, you pay for the truck, you can do whatever sounds you want. I'm sure there'll be some of you that definitely jump on that bandwagon. The passing sounds sound great as well. Something like this, the engine mods, I've said it already kind of in this video, I'll say it again. It just completes a truck, especially something like this, in doing a heavy haul. And speaking about heavy hauls, that is coming up very, very soon, my friends. The schedule now for the videos will go back to a little bit more normal now that the Iowa DLC has been out. Early access is complete, and we'll start going on more of a normal rotation. However, there will definitely be content still from me. Do not worry about that. However, the special transport will be coming up here probably next episode if everything works out the way I want it to. So keep an eye out for that video to come. I think it's going to be very interesting indeed to try and do. And who knows what the truck or engine combination will be? Well, actually, I have an idea. But we're going to hold off on that for sharing because, well, I don't want to give spoilers right away. And otherwise, I want to talk a little bit about what else is coming up here on the channel. I know a lot of you are new and wondering what is going on and what do I generally cover. Well, you can take a look back through some of the videos that I've released recently, see what generally I would do. Obviously, going to head back into ATS 2. There's some new stuff I want to cover over there and some different you know, mods and so on. I want to get some more coverage over and respect ATS 2 as well, because I've had to put it a little bit aside with all of the content released here for American Truck Simulator. There's some other mods here on ATS along with some other content that I'm going to be doing very soon as well. Some tutorials just coming up through the pipeline, getting some final touches on it as well. A lot of exciting things. It's just a matter of time, and the fact that me being a one-man show, sometimes there's a little bit of time balance, but hopefully you all understand. I know you all are amazing. You appreciate whatever I put out, and I do thank you for that. Now let's use some engine braking. Now that is what you call a Jake brake, friends. Now, admittedly, I should have probably started that on the highway a little bit before I hit the exit, but it still slowed me down quite well. So I will take that. I had it on the highest setting, so it did pretty well. I did have to use just a little bit of air brake getting towards the end of the ramp, but I would say that sounds mighty good if you ask me, and maybe I'll use it up here. I'll try and pick up some speed, and we'll use a little bit coming up to the intersection by the looks of it up here. And you may recognize a little bit of this. Obviously, we've come through here recently with the Fort Dodge delivery I did during the early access. We are going to be going to the right up here and heading down to the more downtown section of Fort Dodge, kind of avoiding, well, the more commercial and industrial side, which is towards the western side here in ATS. I love that shape break. It sounds so good. It's just got that power and that snap to it as well when it comes in. Sounds so good indeed. There's the Fort Dodge water tower in the distance. And without further ado, welcome to Fort Dodge, my friends, to a more, well, scenic look at the city itself. We're actually going to get to the left lane here. Sure no one's coming up behind us. This is what we can all come to enjoy here, and as far as I know, it actually gets a little bit more detailed down here, and there is a camera icon. If I'm trying to remember back to the blog posts kind of involving Fort Dodge, was there a hospital something up here? Oh, I think, you know what, I think I may see the sign for it. I think that may be it. We'll get a little bit closer, but I do believe that says hospital. Oh, there's the Fort Dodge Museum. Fort Museum. Yeah, Regional Medical Center. The big hospital. Ah, look at me go. The prime brain is kicking back in. Oh, we got a downhill. Let's use some more Jake brake. Not too bad at all. So obviously we can't go straight, but there is a little bit more Fort Dodge in the distance. However, we're going to be turning left here, and I think there is actually a depot on our right-hand side. I can't quite tell on the map, but that kind of looks like a Taylor Construction depot logo behind the speed limit sign, if that is anything to ask me. And you know what? We were in the intersection, we gotta go, so we're gonna swing out through here and go on the back roads here a little bit. So obviously the hospital's on the left, and yes, it is Taylor Construction. Good. It's almost like I've been playing ATS for many years now. I kind of get to know some of the standard logos. And let's just cruise through the back streets here. Obviously, in the noisy manner that we're gonna do it, given this truck, it is. The straight pipe aspect definitely does not disappoint, I will tell you that much. Especially with our flat top stacks. There's no shyness of sound there, that is for sure. I just love these details, the little residential streets, and I love that this has been added to the game as well. SK Software wouldn't have to add all this in, but I love that they do. And sorry for the rapid camera movement. Didn't mean to do that. And there is a little bit of a monument on the left-hand side here. We'll make sure no traffic's coming our way. And then we'll see what this is. Oh, okay. Looks like a military or uniform service. Freedom Rock. I would say that's a military tribute. Well, how nice and very nice detail to have in the DLC for sure. So if my navigation is correct, we should be on the main drag now. That you may remember from when we came to Fort Dodge recently I guess it would have been for the ethanol plants. So that video I came here in between, well, Fort Dodge and Mason City. Hauling to the Fort Dodge ethanol plant itself, which is actually just over the left-hand side there. The Synthetico. Always stop. I technically got here first. The fire truck is making a beeline for it. Oh! Oh my word. Oh, dude, it's chaos. That genuinely scared me. That genuinely scared me. All the AI just decided to go in different directions. It's a four-way stop. I technically came to a stop first. And everyone decided to go. Oh my word. I feel for you truckers because I've watched this happen in real life countless times where a truck technically has the right of way at a stop, but another car thinks, oh, I can beat them off the line and just zooms across the intersection and hopes for the best. It is irritating to watch as a civilian in a different vehicle. Watching as a third party, it is irritating to do this in a game, and I cannot, I can only imagine how irritating it would be in real life to be the trucker in that position. So in that case, I understand your pain, and I'm sure something like that doesn't necessarily surprise you as much as it does for me. But let's head up here. Just across this bridge, by the looks of it, is the agricultural dealer. Field force equipment, and I see some farm equipment indeed. Well, there you go. Looks like a decent size building as well. We're gonna actually take the road here by the looks of it. Yep. Swing out around here in the Iowa farm fields, and we've got to pull in to the main entrance here. It's a big dealership, by the way. Cool. Oh, and we're actually delivering into the building. No way. Are we actually? Oh, this is cool, dude. All right. Well, we're heading straight in. I saw the little blinking thing to the left-hand side. So let's head in here and hope for the best. Where do we actually have to park it? Oh, it's there. Okay. Well, let's just pull through here. Put the hazards on. Not that anyone's going to be driving into here, but, you know, safety first. I'm going to kind of come out through here a little bit. Or do I swing around, drive through, and then back in? I don't really know what's the best approach here, but we're going to maybe just try a reverse here to start and hope for the best. So with that, let's go ahead and reverse a little bit. Check this side so we don't hit the garage door. At least it's a wide garage door here. Okay, we've got to get it cutting back through. I don't think I have it as aggressive as I need it to be. I'm going to give it a little bit more arc. Need a little bit more cut. But we've got space. Okay. Overcorrecting a little bit too much, I think, now. But we're through. That's the main bit. I did have extra clearance, and I went a little bit too hard on the cut, but that's okay. We've got space behind it, so we're going to actually utilize that and try and get back. Now, realistically, in real life, you could kind of just put this anywhere in here, given the space and the fact that, well, actually, is that a crane on the ceiling? 7.5 ton. They are cranes. Don't know if that's going to be enough to get this harvester off, but maybe. It's going to take it. And you know what? Maybe I'll take the game up on that. Because of the size of this barn, or this shed back here, realistically, they kind of take anywhere here, so I don't think there's any harm in that. Let's go ahead and shut off the truck so I can think and speak. Wonderful sounds indeed. Thank you all so much for watching. What a great episode here on ATS once again in the Iowa DLC. Happy release to everyone officially, given that I'm recording this first video, full release of Iowa. Fantastic indeed. Comment down below if you want to see anything else from me. And otherwise, once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.